Hello everyone. So today we are doing a totally different kind of video. I was planning on filming a totally different video, but I went to school to film it and they had just waxed the floors. So I couldn't get into my library at all. The whole upstairs hallway was closed. So I decided to film a different kind of video here at home. If you've never seen this, it's a thing that is kind of going around BookTube. I guess it has been for a while. It's basically this tier ranking idea where you take anything that you want. It can be not just books, but whatever, and you just rank them. And you don't always have to use like A, B, C, D, or whatever. You can use any sort of tiers you want. So I've come up with some kind of funny tiers I'm going to use, or some interesting ones for classic literature. I've read a lot of classic literature in my time, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to rank them and see what I actually thought about them. Some were required for school, and some of these I just decided to read. So let's see what happens. Okay, so here we go. This is the website that I'm using right here, Classic Literature Tier List Maker. It's this tiermaker.com. It's totally free, and you can sign up for an account to be able to save it and download it too. So I picked 35 classic books. Here they are. I put the thumbnails down here for them, and I've got 4 categories I'm going to rank them on. Whether I actually loved it or not, because some of these, even though they were assigned to me for school, I do actually like them as a book that I would read on my own, like outside of being assigned to read it. It's decent. Like, I might not read it again, but like, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was really boring, but I can at least appreciate it. And finally, we should just throw it away. And I'm interested to see how many books I put into this tier. So, okay, here we go. We're going to start with, it looks like, I don't think these are in any sort of order. Okay, A Tale of Two Cities. I read that in 10th grade, and I really liked it. I don't know if I'd read it again, so I'm going to put decent on that one. Emma. Okay, there's a story behind Emma. I was assigned to read it in college, and it was the only book I've ever been assigned in my entire life that I didn't read. And I have a story about it, and I'll tell you the story later in another video. We're going to throw it away. Anything by Jane Austen, I'm going to go ahead and throw it away. If Pride and Prejudice is on here, I can't remember if I put that one. Yep, there it is. Throw it away. Nope. Hate it. Tried to watch the movie. Couldn't do it. The Scarlet Letter, I mean, I feel like it was either decent. No, it was pretty boring, but I can at least appreciate it. I'm not going to read it again. Dracula, I mean, it was really awful, but you know, everybody thinks it's exciting. Frankenstein is the one that's really good, but Dracula, I'm going to go boring, but I appreciate what it did for vampires, for sure. I love Anne Rice, so I can't say anything too bad about Dracula. Okay, Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer, I'm going to put Tom... Oh gosh. Boring, but I appreciate it. I do like Huckleberry Finn though, so when we come to that, I'll put it somewhere different. Tom Sawyer is kind of like the kid version. Picture of Dorian Gray. That one I thought I would actually like a lot better than I did. So I'm going to go boring, but I appreciate it. Because I think it's a cool concept. I just remember thinking it was really boring, even though I really thought I would like it a lot better than I did. Fahrenheit 451. I read that in 9th grade, so it's been a long time. And at the time, I was like, oh yeah, burning books, that's a cool concept. Boring, but I appreciate it. The Hobbit. I don't like The Hobbit at all. I would say throw it away, but I love Lord of the Rings, and you can't have it without The Hobbit, so boring, but I appreciate it. Wow, this is not how I thought this video was going to go. The Sound and the Fury. Boring, but I appreciate it, I guess. Again, oh my gosh. Oh wait, okay, so here's a couple new different ones coming up here. The Awakening by Kate Chopin. I love The Awakening. I would read that for fun. I've read it several times for school. It's amazing. If you don't know what it is, go look it up. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. I don't know how I even made it through that book. It's a throw it away for sure. The Iliad. Oh, I love the Iliad. I did not like the Odyssey as much, but the Iliad is a lot more like Greek mythology with like gods and stuff. And I love mythology, so I actually loved it, and I would go read it again on my own. Frankenstein, one of my favorite classics of all time ever. I even teach it for school, so I'm excited to get to teach it again next year for college English. So Frankenstein all the way. Way better than Dracula. Okay, To Kill a Mockingbird, another one that I taught many years, like 7 years or something. I always taught it in the spring, like right before summer break at school. So I always think of this book like as a summer book or something, or like summer's coming when I read this book. So Hamlet, I taught Hamlet a lot too. I'm not going to say I'm going to go out and like read Hamlet on my own, but it was good. So I'm going to go decent. You know, see, I don't really remember Macbeth, but I think it was pretty decent too. I'm going to probably read it again this year for school. A Separate Peace, I had to teach that my first year of teaching, and I wanted to throw it away. I didn't like it at all. It was awful. I read it in school too. Oh, terrible book. Okay, Silas Marner, throw it. I guess I could appreciate it at least, but no, throw it away. There was one scene in Silas Marner where they described a cow for like 2 pages or something, or a conversation about a cow. I just remember reading it as a freshman in high school. Who does that? And it was so boring. Okay, Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre was good. I don't think I'd read it again anytime soon, but I didn't hate it. So I'm going to go, it was decent. I read it in 10th grade too. So, I mean, as a 10th grader, thinking a classic that was like this big is decent is probably pretty good. Emma. Oh, I already put him on here. Well, we know what I'm doing with that. I guess I really wanted to make sure it was on this list because I wanted to throw it away. 1984 is one of my all-time favorite books for sure. Taught it, loved teaching it, going to teach it again next year for English 101. Great book. I saw a play version of it too. It was like set in modern times and it was awesome. The Old Man and the Sea, throw it away. It was so boring. No, don't do sea books. I don't think I would do like Moby Dick either. I mean, I don't do boring fish stories. The Great Gatsby, you know, is funny because everybody likes The Great Gatsby and I never read it. So I read it by myself, just on my own one summer, not for school or anything. But I was like, oh, I'm going to be an English teacher. I should read this. Not good. I thought it was literally boring, but I appreciate it. That's exactly the perfect wording for that book. Okay. Wuthering Heights, decent for sure. I liked Wuthering Heights. I like the plot for sure. I like the romance, love Heathcliff, all that. Love the movie version. Huckleberry Finn, decent for sure. I wouldn't go out and read it again. It's not like my all-time favorites, but it's good. And it was more adult, you know, and I even read it in college, like more adult than Tom Sawyer. Catcher in the Rye, boring, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I was really bored. I remember I barely made it through that one. Lord of the Flies. I read that one on my own because I had never read it before, and I would say it's definitely decent. I didn't quite love it, but it definitely wasn't boring. I mean, I was actually really intrigued by it. Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Throw it away. I made myself read that. Boring. Don't like it. Brave New World was not near as good as 1984. I don't really remember anything about it, so I'm going to go boring, but I appreciate it. The Odyssey. Decent. I like the Odyssey because I like Greek mythology and old-timey stuff, but, you know, the Iliad over here was way better. Oh, okay. I ended with I put a little bit of Shakespeare in here too. Midsummer Night's Dream. And I think I'll do a whole Shakespeare video some other time ranking all the Shakespeare plays I've read because I've read a lot. I had a whole class on just Shakespeare plays one time. Midsummer Night's Dream, decent. Definitely like that one. Romeo and Juliet, had to teach it, got tired of it, but it's definitely decent. It's, you know, just a classic story. I mean, it's so classic. How could you not say it's decent? I mean, that's probably what some people are saying about these other ones. Great Expectations. I liked Great Expectations in 9th grade of all things, and I haven't read it again since, but it was good. It was really good. There's a scene from Great Expectations that I still remember to this day where there was a lawyer who would come home and wash his hands every day because it was like he was washing off all the bad things that he had done. I always thought of that when I'd come home and wash my hands after school. Like, oh, I'm washing off my school day, and now I can be myself again at home and not be at school. I don't know. It was cool. And finally, A Christmas Carol. I have really fond memories of A Christmas Carol because I wrote an essay about it to get into a program one summer. But it was kind of boring. And honestly, you know, the story's been done just so many times. So I'm going to go boring, but I appreciate it. So this is an interesting ending here. I really didn't think that I would have this many in boring, but I appreciate it. I thought I really liked more classics than I do. Turns out there's more in the bottom 2 tiers there than in the top 2 tiers. And I picked classics I thought I did like. So anyway, this has been kind of enlightening for me. I guess I need to branch out and try maybe some new classics and maybe reread things like Tale of Two Cities and Great Expectations that I read in high school and maybe give them another shot. So if you've not read some of these, I definitely recommend these 5 right here in the top tier. Especially, I bet many people haven't heard of The Awakening. It's amazing. So anyway, this has been really interesting for me too. So I might try this again, maybe rank some Harry Potter, some Anne Rice books, that kind of thing. Maybe rank fantasy series that I've read. If you have any other ideas for things that you want to see me rank, then please leave a comment below. So thanks guys for watching and have a good day.